He's the Blue Protoss. We all know him. He is the one and only Parting. Is he still teamless now, actually? On the top right side, we have the red Terran player fighting for Shopify Rebellion. It's BYUN. Let me double check that, actually. Parting should be picked up rather sooner than later, right? It's been a while since he left the Dragon Phoenix gamers. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, still completely teamless. It might have to do something with the military, of course. Maybe coming up around that time period where he will have to kind of part ways with StarCraft 2 for a little bit. So that might have something to do with it. What do we have over here? BYUN getting himself ready for the refinery, and barracks coming up. Engineering bay trying to block him, but the probes will be coming out to play. Won't be having any of that, so not an enormous delay there with the engineering bay. Quite a bit of lost mining time, obviously, but I mean, hey, that is what you pay, kind of. The tool you pay to get your Nexus sub still around is the right area of time. SCV coming back in around. I swear, if he makes another engineering bay here, that would be rather frustrating, but probably wouldn't do much since that SCV is already 1 HP. So not gonna go for it. Makes a lot of sense. Alright, so no Zealot either being forced here for parting. That's nice, right? That's 100 minerals that I didn't lose. To be fair, it would still be inside of that Zealot then, of course. You could still try to get something done with that Zealot, but overall, having those minerals just kind of stuck in a Zealot in the early game, never the best thing. Has a rough time actually obtaining value on the other side of the map. Especially if the Terran is aware that there was a Zealot made. Right? Very unlikely that the Terran will skip the safety bunker at that moment in time. What's that? Little scout. Doesn't get to see much, but we'll be able to get up there. Oh, actually, the 2 Marines here also. With a bit of stutter step micro, it seems. Enough to force that adept backwards again. Normally, I believe that's a fight the adept should be able to take, but already half HP before it even got to shoot a single volley, so. 2 Hellions for scouting information, and then afterwards we're gonna go into the Widow Mines here. Would anticipate a drop coming out with those bad boys, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Parting on the other side is starting to prep up with the Blink, so that Blink upgrade most likely will be completed before anything really starts hitting his probe line here. Unless if these Hellions decide to make a run by, but I don't think that is going to be all too miraculously great of an attack, honestly. Just the two Hellions here. Most likely will just be helped by the Adept and the Stalkers. Alright. Widow Mines, on the other hand, different story, of course. They can come in at a sneaky angle and suddenly catch your opponent off guard. Only have 3 Stalkers so far. Alright, no, scratch that. We have 4 of them now. Hellions are positioning themselves at the front of the door. Kind of want to see if they can get themselves in there as well. Waiting for this situation to unfold. Alright, there we go. The Hellions at the forefront. Medevac going into the natural base. Already half HP, but 2 Widow Mines do manage to get burrowed. And 4 probes, actually. Not too shabby. Parting needs to be careful. Those probes, doesn't want to lose too many more of them. The Medevac is going to go down, but does put one of those Widow Mines back into the ground again. They're all going to get killed. Oh, the Hellions come in as well. Maybe it might be... come on. This is pretty good. Without the stocks at the front door, suddenly the Hellions do gain that entry, of course, and well, clean up quite a few more probes there. 10 of them in total do go down, but that was for the price of a medevac. 4 Widow Mines and 2 Hellions in total. Was it worth it? Overall, I'd say it would be. As long as he doesn't take a lot of damage from a Blink Stalker offensive or some sort of counter-attack here. He should be okay, but... let's take a look, actually. He already has 1 siege tank up. He has a bunker at the natural base. A 2nd siege tank just right now finishing up as well. So those should be able to give each other a reasonable amount of cover fire. Little bit frightened of maybe Blink Stalkers blinking up here and taking out the 1st siege tank. But, I mean, we already have a 3rd siege tank on the way. It's hard to imagine, really, Parting being able to do anything. And it doesn't seem like he's planning to. I mean, he only went up to 2 gateways anyway, so... not really planning to do anything specific with the Blink Stalkers. Going for a Colossus. And a 3rd base instead. The Colossus at least did get scouted. The... well, I guess we also saw the Robotics Bay a long while ago with the Widowmine drop, so... kinda has an idea as to what the possibilities are here for Parting. Now, what's BYUN's response going to be? Is he just going to try and play the regular game? Is he going to go for a timing attack, or is he going to try to get himself prepared for potential disruptors or Colossi? Liberators wouldn't be a horrendous choice against either of them. And again, they are very vulnerable to Blink Stalkers, so... especially if you don't have that much underneath to protect them. There goes BYUN with 3 siege tanks and quite a terrifying ball of Marines and Marauders. Do not want to take too many losses here, of course, while going across the map. Some reasonable micro there from BYUN, trying to get everything that has hurt a little bit back into the back of the lines, I suppose. Here we go. Ooh, it's a good engagement here for Parting. Comes in before those siege tanks are sieged and forces them to siege quite far away here. Might be able to get another poke going before those siege tanks siege up again a little bit closer. And actually, BYUN moving further backwards here. Realizing that he did take quite a bit of damage there from the initial poke, and is just going to back up, await reinforcements. Now, is he still going to try to push in here? I'm not entirely convinced. He is trying to set up a 3rd base as well. BYUN, one of the best qualities he has, really, is knowing when to take a fight and not running into fights that could go his opponent's way, potentially. He likes to play it safe. He likes to, when in doubt, just go backwards and try something else. Medevac drop here does get intercepted. Great game sense by Parting. Was able to keep that medevac from doing anything in particular. A little bit of an attempt to clean up the siege tanks there as well, but the Widow Mines and siege tanks force this Protoss army backwards. He's going to go in again for another attempt here to get it with all of his Stalkers this time around. Should be a pretty reasonable cleanup here for Parting, I would imagine. BYUN trying his best. He's doing alright, actually, with the spread and the amount of Marauders that he has. Getting rid of the gateway forces initially. Couldn't quite get himself onto the Colossi, though, and they had a real DPS. Another wave of gateway forces being warped in, and that is going to be enough to force BYUN backwards here. Got quite a bit closer than I thought it would be. Traded a lot better than I thought he would. And that means he will be able to now stay afloat on his 3rd base. Will be able to protect it against his opponent that is kind of marching back and forth now. Deciding to go further back to his side of the field again. But, I mean, with this being Parting, I think he's going to try to do some other stuff as well. And, I mean, to be fair, I can say that because I see this War Prism moving across the map here. Trying to find a good angle on the right flank. Already 2 Vikings patrolling the sky here, though, so... Gotta be mindful of this. Ooh, yep, they have been spotted. The War Prism does get taken out. Well done there by BYUN. Great micro. Does not manage to escape here, parting with that War Prism and a couple of Zealots inside, so... I mean, it's a big loss, right? You always want to keep that War Prism alive, at least as a potential threat. Enforce your Terran opponent to keep forces backwards in order to deal with this. Or really just make an entire forest of missile turrets. Army for parting. It's gonna be attacked pretty soon once again here. There is a disruptor. This disruptor hit might be massive. Oh, it's okay. It's not great. It might not be enough. There is another disruptor. The Colossi are now taken out. Careful, BYUN. His force is getting a little bit low, especially when fighting these Starkers and Archons on the ranged. Also a drop going on, actually. Another War Prism did manage to get in here. Maybe that was just a little run-by with the Zealots. 8 SCVs go down. Does force BYUN a little backwards step for a moment. Ooh, okay. Does get rid of the Disruptor as well. Moving into the Stalkers now. Oh, the Disruptor comes up, but again, I don't think that BYUN is going to take it right here, right now. So he's trading pretty well. He's going to go for the Stalkers, the more valuable units here. And he's just going to dash off. Oh, no, never mind. He's going to go for the drop right on top of the Disruptors. Landing the Vikings as well. My, oh my. BYUN is not afraid of just trading out whatever he can at this moment in time. Tries to take out as many Stalkers and Disruptors as possible. To be fair, that was a great play by him. Those units are expensive. And it's a long while to remake all of those. And the Stalkers is kind of the army composition that BYUN wants to fight against, considering he has this amount of Marauders. I like the fact that Parting is seemingly trying to focus more so on Zealots right now. With a mine drop on the left side does get intercepted. You didn't really get any type of clean connections there. Didn't even get a connection there. Upgrades finishing up here for BYUN, going up to 2-2. Oh, those Disruptors, that might be a good play. Massive connection right there. BYUN's gonna have to head on back home now. His army supplies was actually quite on top of that of Parting for a while there. Another run-by attempt here by Parting, not really finding much of anything, unfortunately. Maybe the run-by on the right side is going to be a bit more lucky in their attempts. Let's take... oh dear. See this first, of course. Zealots, repair on the planetary fortress. Yeah, they're not going to get much done either. Just gonna having to vacate the area here. Liberators set up on the 6 o'clock. Is raking in the pro kills right now. It's forcing Parting to deal with this, and that means Parting suddenly... what? Parting sending his entire army to deal with the Liberator. And all of those Disruptors just kind of leaving back behind. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I was not anticipating that at all whatsoever, but Parting, a ginormous misstep. Loses about 6 to 5 of those Disruptors right there. And now BYUN is just running at him. It's like he smells blood in the water and he's just opening up. He's just giving him left and right hooks all over the place right now. He knows that Parting doesn't have the stuff anymore to stop him. And that is what he's banking on. Breaks down the 4th base. Now looking for the 5th base right here. That has still been established. Some DT harassment comes in for Parting and is trying to clean up some stuff, but it's not enough. It's not enough. BYUN takes game number 1. Top left side, we got ourselves a blue Protoss player. He's teamless right now, so Well, if you're trying to recruit some strong Protoss Koreans, maybe. Although I do think he has to go on military pretty soon, so maybe you want to wait for after that. Anyway, the blue Protoss player, party! And spawning just to the right bottom side of him, kind of in the middle of the map, there is a red Terran player from Shopify Rebellion. He is BYUN. Yeah, he's also got a couple of buildings over here in the below right, but this does seem to be the main location here. The name of the game, Proxy 2 Racks. Nexus coming down. Nexus before the Cybercore. Could be trouble. He is scouting around for it though, so he will see this. Is he going to cancel that Nexus now? He very well may. Just throws down the Cybercore a little bit earlier on. And goes for the Zealots, right. So that's the plan here. Doesn't want to delay anything. Doesn't want to switch right now. Just wants to commit to this and try and hold off the Proxy 2 racks with, well, with the Zealots. And maybe a couple of probes that will be pulled. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, any bunker that will come up here might be a devastating problem. Alright, first bunker being produced. The Marines trying to micro backwards, of course. There's the probes. Probes will be able to get themselves on top of that bunker. It looks pretty good so far for parting. Doesn't look too bad. Another bunker coming up. This is the problem, of course. Okay, 2 Zealots now. Should be able to send 1 Zealot after the boys and then have the other Zealot attack the SEV. Trying to make a bunker here, but 1 Zealot's already gone now. Great micro from BYUN. Keeping those SCVs alive as well. The Stalker is coming out though. And that's a big powerhouse. But seeing how 2 of these Zealots now, almost actually both of them already dead. There we go. The other one now dead as well. These Marines, they are gonna be somewhat okay against the Stalker. There is a shield battery though. That is a problem. This bunker's gonna finish. Ooh, is he gonna save that 1 Marine? No, he doesn't. Okay, so left with 6 Marines. A 7th is coming up. And he's still producing more, but he has the bunker now. He does have the bunker. But there is a shield battery with the overcharge as well. Which in theory, I believe, should be able to beat this. In theory and in practice. Still a lot of Marines here. I mean, imagine him just running forward all of a sudden with all of those Marines and taking out those Stalkers. I would try to focus down the probes, maybe, but... No, it goes for the Stalkers. Now the probes. There we go. Might get another Stalker. Wow. Fan-bloody-tastic trading here for Mr. BYUN. He's going to go after that final probe as well. And gets it. Very good stuff here for BYUN. Look at that efficiency here. Has to be a bit wary, of course. 2 barracks flying back across the map. Not going to be producing a whole bunch. So has to be a little bit careful for that. I like the fact that he's delaying his own natural base. It's going to allow party to somewhat jump in front in the work account again, though. Little barracks trying to make his way home. The other barracks floating into parting space. Apologies. I had to do a little cough there. Apparently still. Parting tried to move out with 2 of the Stalkers here. Get a little bit of a scout going. Maybe there's some poke damage here and there as well, but there was a There was a Widow Mine hidden above on top of the ramp. You're reminding me for the score. Appreciate it. Gets the Stalker, not bad, and we'll get out of there as well. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's see what BYUN is up to next. Stimpak coming out, a couple of siege tanks, and react on that starport. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. Did make that Raven again as well. I mean, we know that Parting does like DTs. He's probably one of the biggest advocates for DTs in the Protoss army. We don't mind trying to go into the main base. We'll lure those Stalkers away, and that is going to be the Raven's entry tick. How far away is that thing? Oh, we'll see the Observer instead. Huh. That's a really good way to get rid of Observers. It's a little bit scary as well, seeing how if you float around with your Raven on its own, it may just get targeted down by a couple of Stalkers, of course. But, yeah, gets the Observer, and we'll be able to kind of make it more difficult for Parting to see what is coming in on those aerial flanks. In comes the push of BYUN, couple of tanks with the bio once again. This time around it's a little bit smaller than the previous time, but I mean, to be fair, the army of Parting, it does not seem to be much of anything so far. Gonna try to acquire a shoot battery here, but will that be enough in time? I have my doubts. Okay, we'll be able to set up here on the right side with his Stalkers. I hope he kind of sticks around this place. Doesn't really do so. Single probe to scout, but that probe is too late to see this army coming in. We'll not be able to get on top of those siege tanks before they start sieging. So they are sieged up now in one of the stronger positions onto this third base. The Marines and Marauders trying to jump on top of the Colossus, but not able to take it out. Shield battery overcharge just close by enough. But this Nexus, no way in hell that is going to stay afloat. And now with two dropships into the main base. Maybe a little bit too quick with that trigger, but I mean, he's taking out so many of these Stalkers. After taking out a third base, it seems to be okay. Even we'll be able to get away with those siege tanks as well. As the Raven is trying to do more harassment also. A great 1-2 punch to ensure these siege tanks will be able to get away safely. Quite a nice maneuver. Losing a big portion of bio though in the process, of course. But I think that's okay with killing the third base. I think that's okay. Just needs to survive here a little bit. I like what Parting is doing as well though. Taking two Nexuses right now. So he might make it look like he's going for a counter-offensive here with these Colossi and Stalkers. Trying to pose a threat, but in reality, he's just gonna absolutely double down on the macro here. Hopefully without the knowledge of BYUN, and maybe bring himself back into the game that way. Because this army here, for Parting, it's just not gonna beat BYUN's forces. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Single Marine trying to figure out what's going on as well. Parting, yeah, look at that. Just oh, that War Prism. Okay, does save itself. Manages to keep those Colossi safe as well for the time being, at least, because those Marauders are not giving up the chase. One of them goes down. Oh, Stalker in the War Prism instead of the Colossus. A little misclick there for Parting. I believe he wanted to grab the Colossus, but instead grabbing a Stalker there. That's frustrating. Now, what does he have? I mean, he has a single Colossus, a single Disruptor. He's got a War Prism and 10 Stalkers. That's it. Now, BYUN not attacking so far. BYUN unaware of this base, I believe. Yeah, he doesn't know that there was a 4th base taken. Otherwise, he may be trying to get a little bit more aggressive right now to try and stop his opponent from making a move like this to try and get back economically into the game. It seems like BYUN already going to try to make that move anyways. As aggressive as they come. So that makes sense. 2 disruptors in the War Prism looking for a lucky shot here. There's 1 disruptor on each side. That could be big! Ooh, both the siege tanks just like that. We'll be able to get 1 disruptor out. Barely. And gets rid of a siege or a Viking there as well. Very good shot there by Barting. Great insight. Great prediction. And was able to get some nice connections there. With the mines for BYUN apparently still hitting the mark as well. Oh boy. But BYUN just rotates around and the army of Barting nowhere to be seen. Now suddenly on top of the probes. On top of the 4th base. 4 of these workers already going down. Vikings just pummeling the sky. Colossus not standing a chance. The disruptor shot doesn't quite hit the mark, but Barting should be able to hold on here. I mean, he's losing a lot once more, but he lives. He does live. He has kept this Nexus alive as well. He did lose 36 workers in total, but he is managing to do a reasonable amount of damage to BYUN's army as well. Army supply 20 apart now in favor for BYUN still though. As well as that worker count, of course. The more important bit here in this matchup, I would say. Meaning that BYUN is in a position where he is allowed to trade a bit less efficient over his opponent. And that's allowing him to make these almost reckless moves, but working out as well, which is the terrifying part. More drop play. Well, actually, I say drop play. It's no medevacs here. It's just bio units rushing in, trying to get as many probes as possible, and they are killing them quickly. And not with a lot of kindness either. That is just with a whole bunch of torpedo launching rocket shells from the arms and, well, bullets through the probe skulls, if they have any skulls. It's a best of 9. King's Van. Best of 9. So we will have 5 games here in total at least. That's the bare minimum. But we're hoping, of course, to get a little bit more. These 2 players, they are quite the exciting bunch to watch. Right, Marauders and Marines coming on in here. We'll be able to, you know, squeeze out a pylon and force the Protoss forces to move on in here. Oh, another attack comes forwards. Gets rid of 1 disruptor. Just to run away for the other one. There's still a shield battery there as well, so looks like this forceful BYUN actually not enough, especially with one of those disruptors connecting on the other side. Oh, only Stalkers. And that's it. GG is called. Top left side, there he is again. Really needs any support, guys. Give it up for the blue Protoss player. Right now, 0-2. But we still have a long way ahead of us. He is Barting. Bottom right side, this game could mark halfway towards his victory already. With just about, what is it, 30 minutes in here. He's doing pretty darn well for himself. The red Terran player, Shopify Rebellions. BYUN. Alright. No proxies this time around. Everything inside of the base. Looks like Barting didn't get scared off that much from the idea of going gateway into Nexus here. We'll be making another attempt. BYUN going for this engineering bay block again. So that gives... This should give away that it's not a proxy 2 Rex. I mean, I've never in my wildest dreams ever seen somebody do a proxy engineering bay as their proxy 2 Rex thing as well. It might be a really good idea though. But then again, I mean, you normally... Well, he's not going to build a zealot now, is he? My god. So that would just mean that, well, I don't think it would be worth it still, since probably your Marines will get delayed. But, maybe, because you can do a proxy 3 racks as well anyway, right? Might be a bit more committed than the proxy 2 racks then, but... Oh well. Oh well, wild StarCraft 2 ideas and thoughts. Let's see what BYUN is up to. Getting himself an expansion as well. Sees that is going on either side and kind of tags along for that plan. Comes down to now, when are these two players willing to take that 3rd basis? And when are these guys trying to get some harassment going? I mean, it's just a matter of time with these two, right? It will happen. We just don't know where, and we don't know when, and we don't know what exactly, but those mysteries will be revealed eventually for us as time progresses only forwards in this reality. Unless we're watching a replay, of course, which is not the case, so that's nice. That is nice indeed. Adept moving on forwards. Again, doesn't quite get a whole bunch of information here. Actually, the information that he is obtaining could be a little bit worrisome, in fact. Doesn't see more barracks, no factory, no expansion, nothing. All he sees is a reasonable sized group of Marines. And now they're gone. So good call there for parting to move the main body of the Adept backwards. Didn't want to get caught out. Good effort though by BYUN, trying to get himself secretly on top of that Adept all of a sudden. Would have been cool. Would have been cool. Yeah, it's just going to get out of there now. So good scouting there for parting. Unfortunately for BYUN, was not able to intercept that Adept before seeing the command center. Must be feeling a little bit safer now for parting. I mean, if you see BYUN on one base, you're going to start sweating. You are going to start sweating. Looks like it only made a single shield battery here. Nothing in the main base, so no major reactions there for parting in the time periods where he wasn't quite sure if things were going to go crazy. Kind of balancing that, or walking that tightrope in a sense, right? Well, you're hoping you don't push yourself too far one way or the other way. Because you're not quite sure. In this game, you're not quite sure where the tightrope is, so you're just going to have to sometimes estimate, alright, well, I think the tightrope is going to go this way, so let me just try to walk along this side then. Hopefully for, well, luckily for parting this time around, it kind of helped him out. Put him in a reasonable spot. There's still a big push of bio coming, of course. They will have the stim pack. They will have the combat shields. We do have the shield battery overcharge here. No sentries, though. Sentries usually the units you want to try and hold off these marine pushes to stop them from just rushing on in. Let's see how this goes. Getting rid of the shield battery. Alright, now getting rid of a lot of these stalkers. The blink is finished up, and yeah, good micro there for parting. We'll keep most of his stuff alive and trades out very efficiently there, actually. Looking at about 700 extra minerals lost for BYUN, and 75 extra gas lost for parting, but I'd be willing to take that trade. I'm going to be quite happy with how that exchange went. I think maybe BYUN hoping to hit there before the blink opens up. Maybe he was hoping on the lowest Starker counter, maybe a single Colossi or something like that, he would be able to take out. I'm not sure. Anyway, he took out a couple of those Starkers. That's already on its own going to make it a bit more difficult for parting to be aggressive, to be proactive, defensive against drops. And he's going to have to spend more money, of course, on gateway units instead of robo facility units, which is, you know, again, kind of nice for BYUN. That being said, though, again, I don't know if that was a really good move. I think there were better moves that could have been made. with that army. Well, although, actually, saying that, because you have to push, right? There's like you made that army, you need to do something with it. You can't just sit there. All right. Well, anyway, we'll see how it goes later on in the game, of course. Oh, big intercept attempt there. Medevacs do get most of their cargo out before they get shut down, but still a bit of a scary time. Economy here still looking fairly okay for both these players. Kind of like it maybe a bit better for Barting, but that's also because the previous 2 games he was just behind. And right now it looks like in a pretty good solid position. Looks like the chase will continue, but actually, yeah, going into the medevacs this time around. Will the Stalkers see? Yes, it does. Will it react in time? Only 4 Stalkers here. There's 3 medevacs parting. That may not be enough. Okay, the big medevac there gets taken out. Felt like that. I still had the most units in there. Now it's just dashing off, trying to make a fight happen on the bottom left side as well at the same time, but Stalkers ready to intercept. Yeah, BYUN once again not getting anything anything for his units. Alright. 3rd base is being constructed here. War Prisms once again coming out to play as well. We'll have to keep an eye out for this. Oh god, Barting, don't lose the game again by having your expensive units just out in the open, ready for picking. BYUN just stims forwards. He cannot believe his eyes that this opportunity just presented itself. Taking out a single Colossus and taking out every single one of the sentries. He might want to back up now, but I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty darn alright. Sending in more units right now. Throwing those Widow Mines might be good. Give a nasty surprise to that army that's trying to give chase. There we go, that's the Widow Mine. Blink is available though. Oh, he didn't blink in the right timing. Did BYUN overcommit to that fight though? He's being pushed all the way back right now. Still 2 Colossi and a reasonable amount of gateway forces. The SCVs are being pulled. 3 of them already gone. This is nasty. There's a lot of SCVs going down right now. BYUN is just moving forwards. He knows if he steps back again, that could be the end of things. Oh, nasty Widowmine connections onto his own forces there as well. Well, I mean, he holds. He holds. Puts himself further back on the economy, though. With losing 12 of those SCVs and Barting taking a bottom left side base here. Not too bad. This might be the moment for Barting where he will just be able to keep pushing forwards here. And suddenly we have an entirely different game from game number 1 and 2 on our hands, where it seems like Barting is the player. Taking the lead, taking charge and bullying his opponents. Alright, more of the War Prism Micro coming into play. Zealot's taking a hit from the Widow Mine. As BYUN is just trying to get himself as much reinforcements here as possible. But with that War Prism location so close, this is a difficult thing for him to do. Alright, more SCVs are being pulled. Maybe could have lifted up that command center right there as well. Allow his Bioforces a bit of a bigger arc. It's an awkward situation. I guess he still wants those Colossi and stuff to... and the Zealots as well, to force the charge and the attack on this command center instead of his forces. Which is helping him out a little bit here. Alright, there we go. The tanking. The Colossi are shooting the SCVs here, so they are tanking pretty well for the Bioforces. Will the Bioforces now be enough to break this open? Going further forwards here. 1 Colossus goes down. Not that much remaining for BYUN. But there's even less for Barting. Barting taking a big hit right there in his army. And now BYUN still with 43 workers, still with a third base available as well. Might be able to intercept a third or a fourth base of his own. Although that being said, looking at 3 Colossi here, that is a scary place to fight still. With those shield batteries everywhere. And yeah, BYUN agrees. We'll decide to back up from that location. Tries to go for a small medevac drop play here. Does he know about the 4th base? I don't think he knows. No, he doesn't. So will be a bit of a surprise when that medevac flies over. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, there we are. We'll figure it out. Had some suspicion, it looks like. And there may be a base here. Finds it. This is going to force the recall. I don't know. Looks like Parting willing to try and make the trade happen. Nexus. Gonna get himself some units warped in here for protection. Doesn't look like the drop will be enough to really hold its own here. So that's cleaned up, and now the attack on this side right now. Parting. Unsure whether or not to commit to this. I don't think he should necessarily. Those zealots, they will be made mincemeat out of with those widow mines. More and more Vikings entering the field as well. We may need to see something coming out of Parting here to try and deal with this. Disruptors are coming in, so they are a great way to kind of stop the Vikings from being so efficient at zoning out your AoE damage. Great micro here from both these players so far. Really trying their darnest to just keep that poke damage going. Still like the position here for Parting quite well. I mean, it's pretty good, right? The 4 bases, he's trading, he's... oh, wow, okay. I was not anticipating such a comeback in the efficiency here for BYUN, actually. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, Parting at more than double the mineral killed value, in a sense, right? Almost twice as much, and now it's just tied up again. It's just back to where it was, and that is with Parting having an economic advantage as well. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. He's not going to win this one as well, right? Is he? I mean, if BYUN wins this game as well, I'm going to call it. This is going to be a 5-0. Alright, in he comes. Disruptor does get taken out. Vikings in a little bit of peril of those Stalkers. But there doesn't seem to be enough Zealots around anymore. The Colossi moving backwards. Absolutely terrified of this force right now. Needs to have a Disruptor. Also, look at that. Zealot run by into the SCV lines. 16 of them go down. Very well played, BYUN this time around. Not having as much as in the previous games, so sending absolutely everything across, trying to get the Disruptor. Disruptor does get taken out, but I think it did get a little bit of a connection there. GG is called, and BYUN will lose game number 3. Parting, well done indeed. BYUN very, very thoroughly checking for proxies here. Parting, not so much. May have to do as well, again, with the idea if Beckett is town favored, then more likely that Parting is going to do a cheese rather than BYUN. The Raiders saying it feels like they're happy to micro handshake. BYUN gets bio and Parting gets Blinkstokes and something. Yeah, it really does feel that way, right? Just kind of a battle of, alright, well, who's just gonna crumble first? Who's going to lose control and lose more units than they needed to? Who is that? Well timed. Oh, a shame. Great repair on that Widow Mine, actually. Saving its life there, in fact. Another attempt. Oh, that is rough. Good attempt by Parting, but too little. Was not able to make it work. Didn't even know you could repair mines. Yeah, man. Repairing mines actually is a big thing. It's a really big thing. If you manage to repair your mines, it's So much extra value, right? It's very, very good to do so. I see players as Vindicta and stuff as well doing it quite a bit. With a mine drop, comes on in. Single stalker there with 2 adepts. Main base, unprotected. Shield batteries are coming up. Here we go, first wave. He's going to try to just drop them right then and there. No, he's going to go for the main base. Decides there's too much stuff over here. Let's just do it elsewhere. Drops one of them. Even going to do the burrow, unburrow shenanigans. Finds the dark shrine that is being built here. And he has a raven coming up, so... that is some tough news for Parting. Oh my god, Parting! Okay. Whoa, that got close. That got really close. That was almost, what? This amount of probes dead. Jeez Louise. Okay, well, come on. We still have one more Widow Mine. It's not going to drop it off right now. Already at its load shot out, of course. 3 probes go down. 4 SCVs go down due to the Dark Templar. Dark Templar, a much bigger commitment though in tech and resources. You want to do a bit more with those. Especially if you've lost some workers yourself as well. This is why I like Barting. Barting isn't a player that is just like, alright, well, you stopped my DTs once, I'm just going to give up on it now. No, BYUN is going to have to take into account that DTs are just a part of the match now. He's going to have to find a good way to deal with them. I mean, I think Parting is going to keep trying to be aggressive with DTs instead of Dark... or, oh no, he's going to go into Archons. Bloody... I mean, Parting. Alright, fair enough. More Widowmine drops as well. 7 probes going down here. 7 of them in total. Okay, Archons. I mean, sure, they do pack quite a mean punch. Should not be able to get too much going, though. As the third base is being constructed. Is BYUN aware of that third base? Should be, right? Should know that this is about the time when that is going to happen. We'll have that medevac checking for it. Ooh, what prism? Getting caught out here, perhaps. There's no stim available, so he can't stim underneath the medevac. Gets one of the Archons. That's a big deal. That's 300 gas is gone like that. Widowmine finishes off the War Prism. Oh my god, this is absolute just the worst for Parting here. That may be it. That may be it. That one single Widowmine coming back around and finding his prey. 9 kills on that single Widowmine. 9! He's got 9 kills. How? When? Is this? That must have been the Widowmine that got the 7 probe kills as well. An absolute beast hero of a unit right here. This is the champion of this game so far. 7 probe kills and to the War Prism with an Archon inside. Talk about some value. Jeez Louise. Alright, 3 siege tanks now providing quite a bit of cover fire. Interference matrix on the Colossus, so there's not much that Parting can do about this. He's just going to have to watch his third base burn. He's still trying to make it work. He knows he cannot afford to give up this position too easily. Still has the 2 shield batteries, but the shield battery's not really helping. Has to cancel his third base here again. I mean, I think we're approaching the end times here. Maybe just take the base off here. It's misplaced as well, isn't it? Is that misplaced? It feels misplaced. It does feel misplaced. Let me know if that is misplaced, actually. Maybe the scrub there on the ground is just a little bit weird. Maybe it just looks misplaced. Man, 4 siege tanks now just absolutely obliterating anything that tries to deal with this army of BYUN. This base right here, I don't know. It might be. It might be. This is rough. This is as rough as it gets. A single DT trying to come across here. I mean, we'll be able to stop mining from the the third base. Sorry, that's the third base for BYUN. Let's see. Does he have a scan available? He doesn't have a scan available, but no, he doesn't have a Raven here either. So Raven's over here. Really should keep that Raven alive. Honestly, I would even like to see an SCV come across to try and get that repair going on the Raven as well. Either that or just stop muling overall entirely. I like this move from Parting here. He knows that there's quite a solid stranglehold on his left side base there. 3 more probes going down. Alright, well, big fight. Yeah, not going into Parting's favor. Thought Parting was going to push across the map, not really move into this army here through a even harder way to push into it. You know, from low ground to high ground. Oh, good efforts, good efforts. Parting wants to get something going. All that infantry into the medevacs now, and that allows Parting to finally come in here and get rid of all those siege tanks. The problem is though, I mean, the next army's already here. Ready to do it all again. There is a disruptor. Shot available. Let's see. Gets a couple of units. Not an enormous amounts. That's going to be another GG here. BYUN taking game number 4. Still only with 1 point. The Blue Protoss not able to gain momentum here, but might be able to reacquire a closer series once again. It's the one and only Parting. Bottom left side, Shopify Rebellion, the Red Terran player, BYUN. Coming in once again hot with an engineering bay block. It seems like it's something that he's specifically doing to Parting as well. May have to do with Parting's response to this, with pulling the probes, which makes BYUN want to do this. I'm not sure, because I've seen BYUN play against Zest as well in some bigger series, and it looks like that's where he makes the decision not to do it anymore. And the one difference I'm noticing between Parting and Zest is that Zest, he just starts up a Zealot instead of sending out the probes. Interesting indeed. I guess that does cause Zest to kind of delay his own Nexus as well, a little bit longer. Anyway, once more, a clean match is coming up here, it seems. No proxies whatsoever. What we are seeing from BYUN here is a barracks into a factory. So, looks like he's going to go for very, very quick aggression here. Might just be for Hellions in scouting. That could be the case. Let's keep an eye out on this regardless, right? This could turn into something here. Doesn't have enough money now for a starboards, but should do momentarily, especially if he goes for Hellions here. Alright, Hellions. Is there a starboard being made? Not yet. Oh, there it is. Alright. Lovely. So imagining this is again the... Alright, so... Did he do this on... I think it was on the first map, right? Going for the 2 Hellions quite quickly for the scouting, and then going for the Widow Mines. This is quite exactly as he did in game number 1, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. What else have we got? Stargates coming in here for Parting. Setting up shop with a couple of Phoenixes, first and foremost. A good call against those Widow Mines. I think he already knows what's coming as well now. Should be a lot better to prepare for this. Couple of adepts. Here's the Widowmine drop coming in. The Phoenix is not yet shown. Those Widowmines, they are going to all get in. Well, some of them get into the ground. Where'd that fourth go? I guess the fourth one got killed off. Yep, all 4 of them gone. Hellions not really in a position to make use of that situation either, right? So, absolute stellar defense from Parting there. About as good as it could get. Even finding that medevac. I'm not sure why he's trying to send that medevac back in. Maybe just for scouting purposes. I think that is actually the case. He's the robo-bait. That's a good call. Alright, just gonna get what he can with that medevac scouting-wise. Very unlikely that it's going to be able to get back across the map anyway, right? So you may as well sacrifice it in a different theater of war. Is that a probe? Yep, that was a probe. Trying to come over here, make a base. 2 Hellions, make that difficult. As they do burn down probes rather quickly. Trying to get the probe again here. Will he be able to? Oh, he got close. Very close, but not quite coming into fruition. Gone up to 5 Phoenix in total. Looks like that's kind of the mark we're sticking around here. Good look on with the Cyclone. Almost gets one of them. Looks like it will be tough times for Parting to try and do any type of economic damage onto his opponents here. Single Colossus out so far. BYUN will be making the move out pretty soon again. With that 3rd base on the way, it's just a matter of time for him to try and make this maneuver. Although maybe with the Phoenixes out, maybe he's not going to. Seeing how those Phoenixes might just be able to intercept the siege tanks, right? Just lift them up quite easily and then have the Zealots, Adepts, everything else just kind of waltz on in there. We'll see. We'll see. So far, the Phoenix is not really able to intercept anything coming across. But Parting is aware that this is coming. So we'll be able to get another couple of good pokes here before BYUN's army is in a really good position. Forcing the pre-siege and taking out a couple of Terran boys with him. There we go. He's moving in again. Checking to see whether or not he's moving forwards or backwards. Now he knows, alright. BYUN moved away. He's safe again for a little short period of time. Unless if BYUN took a different area of attack. He didn't though, and he saw that with the observer here. He saw the army moving backwards. So that's why he's now comfortably moving forwards. Trying to get a bit more of an aggressive position on his opponent. I'm not sure if he's going to try to push into BYUN, but if BYUN ever decides to push out, it's immediately going to be faced with quite a couple of Colossi. Ready to make that walk across the map extremely difficult. Phoenix on the other side. Have to be careful. There's quite a couple of Marines here underneath, and all the Phoenixes go down, bar one. Barely stays alive with 20 HP. A little bit of a blunder there for Parting. I mean, those Phoenixes, they are very, very valuable. I mean, even if they don't get the lift-ups on the siege tanks, they are incredible. If you just manage to fly them over the Widowmines and then on top of the Marines and Marauders, that's a great way to not only set off the Widowmines, but get a ton of extra damage going onto the Bio forces. And now, all 5 Phoenixes are gone. No longer a possibility here. Server on the right side finally does get spotted. Looks like something from the sky did get knocked out there as well. Might be the War Prism, actually. Seeing how we do not have a War Prism with this anymore. Fourth base for parting has been set up, and BYUN will attempt a full medevac drop. This is a good way to try and deal with the Protoss that is very aggressive across the map here. Feedbacks do come into play, making this a bit easier to get rid of. With only half of the healing being available here for BYUN. Let's see how quickly these forces are going to get taken out. Or are they even going to get taken out? It's a close fight. But yeah, it looks like those two feedbacks really helping out a ton there. As the move out is committed once more. Still a bit of bio here on the right side. It's going to get back up into those medevacs and try to keep a big portion of the Protoss army preoccupied here. It's looking somewhat okay. The big fights on the left side though. Those Colossi in a bit of trouble. Shield battery overcharge comes in to help, and that will actually, yeah, keep them all alive. And BYUN on the run. There is nothing here that is able to stop those Protoss forces from moving on forwards. The drop is still managing to get a bit of success here. Let's see if they will be able to get back into that medevac as well. Does not look like it. There is a big fight after on this side as well. Great concave from BYUN as he turns around. The army of parting does not quite have the fortitude to manage itself through that little squeeze corridor. Going to try to make the same plan happen on the left side this time around. Should have a lot more success there. Widow Mines also now in this base over here. Photon cannon being produced in order to solve that situation. Okay, here are the Bioforces. Some pretty good splitting so far for BYUN, but oh, those SCVs, they're going to take a pounding. Disruptor shot lands quite nicely as well. Parting's doing a good job so far. BYUN desperately trying to micro backwards. Trying to keep everything afloat, trying to keep it alive. Here we are. Is it going to be manageable? I don't think that it will be. We have another GG coming in here for parting. Well played indeed. Doesn't quite tie up the series, but makes it very close now. 3-2 in the scoreboard. Parting is setting up shop on his natural base. Once again going for the Nexus before the Cybercore. BYUN going for the, well, the base on the low ground here. Let's see how that will serve him. Should be pretty good. Another proxy pylon here. Let's see what that is going to produce. It's a gateway. Alright. Pretty nifty. But, oh, BYUN. BYUN. Just a little further, buddy. Come on. Doesn't quite see it. That is unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. Still had a little bit to go. He's building a safety bunker, though, quite quickly. So that's a good sign. This is going to be enough in time, though. I think it will be. I think it should be. Yeah, it should be okay. Should be okay. BYUN looks alright. He's playing against parting, though, and it is going to be a 3-gate here. He's building another gateway in his main base. This could be quite a bit of an aggressive play. BYUN, how well prepared are you for this, actually? Making attack lab on the factory. Got one reactor producing marines and another barracks coming up as well. Luckily for him, he's not trying anything crazy with a 3 command center play or something like that. He's playing it pretty close to heart. Five adepts, so that is quite a handful. BYUN needs to close that supply depot gate. There we go. Just kind of setting up shop on the other side. Oh my god, even saving that SCV. What a man. Cyclone has been produced. This should be enough now for BYUN to kind of start holding this. Doesn't take damage anywhere just quite yet. And there's the Stalkers. No repair yet on that bunker. Is that too much now for BYUN to handle? It might be. He's losing quite a lot of those SCVs, but he holds on. That's a lot of SCV kills. 6 of them in total right there. Of course, parting his attack is quite severely delayed because of this as well. But a crippling blow to the economy of BYUN here may be more than enough to pay for itself in that sense. Alright. Little fight there, a little tussle. 5 adepts so far have gone down. Cyclone, Marine, and 6 SCVs as well. 2 more Starkers being warped in on that right side. Actually, make that 3. Again, no, we don't have Blink, so this is a rough fight for parting. Oh, looks like it's gonna lose a couple of boys here. Off of the high ground now, BYUN here, kind of satisfied with that. He's gonna start rotating around. Doesn't want to just have these Stalkers poke at him endlessly. Wants to get this siege tank in a good position. And then force the Stalkers to take poke damage themselves as they want to try to poke the Marines. Smart play here for parting. Realizing that there is a potential for this army to make a different move around. So he's scouting for it and he actually did see it coming in. But was it too late? Siege tank now in position. The Marines starting to shoot down some of those Stalkers, but it's just not enough Marines to really provide cover for the siege tank here. Especially with a shield battery there as well. A quick kill and wipe of that army. BYUN's going to have to come up with a plan B. As this is not looking all too great for him so far. Does he know about the gateway here? No, he still doesn't know about the gateway either. Another pylon coming up. It's just a spotter pylon. In case BYUN makes moves like that again. Or attempts to make moves like that again. Little medevac with 6 Marines coming in on the left side. As the defensive setup here for BYUN, it looks a little bit lackluster. The Marines need to get themselves closer to the siege tank. There's an Immortal here now as well. SCV's being pulled. I think we're approaching the mark of no return pretty darn quickly here, guys. That is not a good sign. The drop does arrive, of course, on the other side of the base. Or the map, I should say. Big recall. Blink Stalkers on absolutely everything. Take it all down. Oh, a single probe was lost, it looks like. Maybe one of them. Wow. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff there. Parting on top of absolutely everything. I mean, this is looking like a game that is to lose. I would be very, very surprised if BYUN still manages to make this a victory in his books. We'll see. How many siege tanks are we on? We are on 2. There is a 3rd one about to pop as well. So it might make it actually a little bit doable defending against the mostly Stalker army. And we did have that Immortal there as well. And I suppose with charge finishing up, maybe Parting had an opportunity there to just finish his opponent. But it's playing it safe, playing it cautiously, which is normally a really good idea to do against somebody as BYUN, right? I mean, you give BYUN a single opportunity to get back into a game and he will jump on it. He will absolutely try everything he can to make that opportunity become reality. Alright. So yeah, if Parting wins this one, guys, we are guaranteed at least 8 games already, right? So if Parting wins this, we're going to go to game number 7 and game number 8, guaranteed. Which is a pretty fun prospect. Fourth base coming up, as well as the Templar Archives. Of course, Barting already working on that extended thermal lance. We haven't seen him use High Templar that much, at least not Storm that much. Seems like he prefers the Disruptors overall. Starks on the right side gets scurried away by those siege tanks. Scared off. They do not want to take part of the siege tank target practice right there. Ghost Academy is completed now as well. It's actually in the front of the wall here. Very interesting location for a Ghost Academy. Might be taken out. And then again, to be fair, if he loses his third base now, that is probably already GG. But, I mean, if he just loses the Ghost Academy now without the third base, I mean, that's going to be a big blow too. He needs to get those EMPs. He doesn't quite have a Ghost just quite yet, so no EMPs ready or available. That means this is the perfect time for Parting to try and make this move in here. He's trying to avoid the siege tank fire, but he's taking quite a lot of shots right now. Bioforces trying to get themselves in between the natural base and the Protoss army. Will be able to do so somewhat. Coming in with 2 Ghosts. 25 SCVs already gone down. Army supply still somewhat similar. But this is looking like a slaughter. Parting managed to get himself in an absolute killer corner. And BYUN struggling to force him out of there. The siege tanks need to be utilized here. They need to move slowly forwards. And, I mean, so much of the tech already been destroyed. Here we go. The move onto the Colossus is making it work. But too many Zealots, too many Stalkers that just do not have a response. As BYUN losing 42 workers. Even if all these gateway forces now magically disappeared, I would still be pretty comfortable calling this game for Parting. This was an absolute fantastic attack at the right time, at the right place. With some nice maneuvering, getting himself in there and tying up the series here, 3-3. If they do win that map of their choice, suddenly they're in a position where their opponent has map choice, right? For the final match. So, yeah, in a sense, right? You want to win this game, so you are ensured that you will be able to play on your map pick if you lose. One more time, and that will be the decider map then. So that could be really cool. So yeah, this is a very important match. If you win this one, I'd say that is a big, big advantage. Because that would just guarantee, even if you lose the next one, you're going to be able to finish it off on whatever map choice you have. Now, BYUN here, going for a double gas with a barracks across the map. This might be something sneaky here coming in with the Reapers. I am going to check. Oh, Parting, the wise man, comes on in here and we'll be able to get the scout off. That could be a ginormous deal. And BYUN, oh boy, what is his backup plan here? I mean, he did go for the double gas, so I'm imagining he wants to get a factory started pretty quickly as well. All right, how do you follow this up? Where else do we go from here? Where else do we go from here? Right. Engineering bay block? Really? Okay, no, it does go for the factory. Well, for a moment we're going to see something else indeed, but we'll stick to the factory. Reaper comes on in. Only a single Zealot here. Did I forget? No, I didn't. It's okay, it's there. It was just supply blocks. He didn't go. Ooh. Good effort by the probes, trying to block that Reaper right there. What's in here? Oh, I see the SCV in trouble. Little probe got in there. Oh my god, no, the Reaper is stuck! What a block! Absolute amazing stuff right there from Parting. We'll be able to get a notch on those probes' belts. Very well done. A nice grapple move onto that Reaper, stapling him to the ground and slowly zapping him to the abyss. Little pylon here, trying to figure out perhaps what's coming out of that factory. Probe trying to stay alive as well. I think well, the Widowmine is out now. Wait, does he just want to keep this pylon here? Yeah, I guess he does. Alright. Widowmine at the forefront of this ramp, though. That could be... Yep, that is already one unit down. Running away with that Widowmine as quickly as he can. Trying to get a repair going. Second Widowmine. Into the ground. Kind of secures this area now. Even with that pylon there. Well, actually, no. Supply depot could still be in trouble. Might want to just use some SCVs as well to either tug down this pylon over here or get some repair going. Second Widowmine going into the ground as well. Oh, they're just out of range of these Stalkers. That's the problem. Needs to kill the high ground vision. The supply depot, it lives. It just barely lives. 30 HP remaining. Both these players looking to try and take themselves, well, secure themselves the second base here. Already parting happily mining. BYUN trying to get that second orbital upgrade going. Two Widowmines in a medevac right now. Dashing across. It looks like the Stalker's a bit out of position. Pretty far removed from having the blink upgrade as well, actually. There we go, just dropping another one. Did he see? He must have seen, right? Yeah, he did. Alright, and gets out of there. Great micro once again from Micro Jackson. Able to shave off 3 probes in total there. Not bad at all. Going over towards the siege tanks here, and a couple more barracks. Again, the Raven, very, very similar players to what we've already seen from BYUN. Same could be said for parting here, right? Grabbing himself the blink upgrade. Wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see the Colossi as the next units coming out pretty soon. Or at least that's the next step of this plan of parting here. Looks like a Widowmine got the better end of a Stalker there. Getting a couple of other ones in the well, a little bit of hull damage there. No, sorry, shield damage. No hull damage. Siege tanks not in the best position to deal with the Blink Stalkers in the main base of BYUN right now. We'll be able to pick off the Raven and a Siege tank right here. Very well played so far. Siege tank needs to get himself into a good position here. There we are. Right, yeah, that is a better one. That's a much better one. We'll be able to actually shoot the Stalkers if they try to get around there. I think BYUN a little bit frightened of his siege tanks being too close to the edge towards the Stalkers. Where they might be able to just blink. Oh my god, Stimpack. Stimpack might go down. The repair is big. The Stalker's really desperately trying to get it, but the repair just in the nick of time. Keeping it alive here. The SCV's now trying to get a full surround on the Stalkers as they maneuver themselves behind the minerals, but Blink does get them back to safety once again. 2 engineering base coming down for BYUN. Oh dear, oh dear. Not a great Blink on top of the siege tank, but this time around a lot more Stalkers are going down. As the price for each siege tank seems to be increasing quite a bit. Maybe that was a step too far for parting. Let's hope he still has enough units right now to kind of keep this going. How many gateways is he doing this off of? It's only 3, so I would imagine a third base to be along the plans here as well. So far, we're not really seeing any type of attempt towards that direction. Well, he's still making probes, right? So he should make a third base. Momentarily. It looks like he's just a little bit busy with the Stalkers and stuff for the time being. Trying to micro as much as he can. SCVs go back to work. A little drop plate for BYUN will be coming out. Go for a quick unload here, straight towards the probes, and a recall does come in. BYUN just gonna target down the Stalker stack got recalled. Okay, gets 2 of them and gets 5 probes, 4 probes. Okay, 4 probes. No shield battery in the main base right there. Maybe a little bit of an oversight from Parting. Would have been quite nice. Parting is going to take a gold base. Very cool to see. BYUN gonna scout this with a medevac most likely. As long as that keeps the same trajectory going there. While Prism may have been caught out. Quite a bit of the shields gone right there. Actually, all of the shields gone. Widowmine medevac does scout the expansion trying to be taken here by Parting. BYUN is trying to take a third base of his own, but it's being... He's going to take the third base a little bit closer towards his opponent. Wants to have his defensive line as close to Parting as possible in order to make these pushes a lot shorter and easier to do. Great snipe there on another siege tank, by the way, as well. Parting really giving it all. As the probes are ready to start mining from the gold base, but it's not quite done yet. There is a little bit of a drop coming in at the same time as well. Oh dear, BYUN might lose his third base here. Same could be said for Parting. Is Parting going to have to cancel this as well? Yes, they both have to cancel their third bases. Immediately plop down on a different, safer location here for BYUN. And Parting tries to take the blue base instead of the gold minerals. Again, also a little bit easier to defend that location. So a smart plan overall, I would say. Wait, is he going to try to take a 4th base now? As well? Is he going to do the double expand again? A lot of Widowmine drops, by the way. 2 kills and 4 kills. Parting not paying attention there. Medevac gets out as well. Could this be another cancel? I don't think so. Going for the pylon first, yeah. Didn't really have to DPS. Oh, nice bait with that Widowmine right there. Blink Stalkers just jumped right on top of that one. It's another Widowmine here. And down goes another Stalker. Oh, but they might get the medevacs. They do get both the medevacs. Alright, so that definitely makes it worth it. Very nice, very nice. A lot of SCVs idle here. I suppose we don't have a third base to mine from anyway, but still. 82 army supply strong versus 64. BYUN also ahead on the workers right now, which is quite surprising. In worker kills 25 actually. Jeez Louise, 2 more go down here. It's gotten to the point where Parting is just adding in cannons into his mineral lines right now. He's had it. He's had it with those things. Those bloody Widowmines. Absolutely everywhere. Did that Warp Prism get spotted? Okay, it looks like it did get spotted. Parting trying to see if there's an force coming in here, ready to intercept or not. Will still make the move into the main base. Maybe BYUN thought that it would not happen anymore. Does have a few units here, but that's a big warping of Zealots. Great positioning on these bio forces though. Nice. Sim City here really helping out the bio against the Zealot warping. Great stuff. Big fight on the top though. Colossi are a little bit too far in front. Force fields helping stop the pushing forwards from the bio forces. We still have a siege tank and 2 liberators sieged up as well, keeping this area secure. Big play could be happening here for Parting though, just jumping straight into the main base. He knows that the fortified position for BYUN is on the top side, and look at that force field. Well, far back in the past are we now? That is a great force field onto the ramp, with the Warp Prism flying over as quickly as possible and getting that done. Only 3 SCVs have been killed so far. And only a small portion of the infrastructure here. Let's see how much of the forces of parting are going to pay the price of pushing in there. And it looks like that was quite a ton. Only one Colossus goes down, but both sentries, 29 were 29 Stalkers so far, 17 Zealots. Now, it wasn't all in that fight right there. But seeing the army of parting, it doesn't seem like there was much else. 3 medevacs going across once more, looking for the drop play. Realizing that parting is playing so aggressively. Trying to keep BYUN from just pushing out regularly. Right, otherwise he's just going to get microed back against, and he's going to be kited. It's going to be a gruesome way of trying to get himself across the map here. Alright, another slight drop here. One SCV joining in the fun as well, because why the hell not? Recall immediately takes place. This might be the moment where this army starts moving forwards. Now that the front is clear, it's exactly what he starts doing. The drop on the top side. Finding a single Stark here. Looking as to where this army is heading towards. BYUN not moving any further forwards with this force, actually. Just kind of sticking around for the time being. Parting with a very, very useful observer so far. Well placed above that ginormous structure, whatever it is. Little drop does get found out. We're still around here after all. The Starkers on their own, not enough to take it out, but do shoo it off and kind of secures this top left side for another base. Zealot run by potential here already has been set up as well. There's another observer right there. Trying to figure out how many war prisms. We have 2 war prisms, but where's the second one? Let me quickly see. Okay, it's over here. Interesting. Not sure why he has a disruptor in a war prism in his main base. Maybe against like doom drops, something like that. As some sort of a defense against doom drops. It's interesting. Oh no, no! Oh, Parting, you're doing it again! Parting! This may be it, guys. This may be it. That is a lot of Colossi going down. He needed those. He was not allowed to lose anything here. Storms are... Wow, those storms. More storms coming in from above. No, that's an EMP. Landing quite nicely. But there's more forces, of course, coming in from the top. I don't see this really going into Parting's favor anymore. GG is called. And just like that, BYUN brings it into his favor. Moving across here with another sneaky pylon. Might be looking for a similar strategy as we saw the previous game. I mean, it worked out alright. He got himself... Well, no, wait, that was Giganotha, wasn't it? Yeah, Giganotha worked out in his favor. I mean, that was a really good game for him. Might be able to, once again, set himself up with a nice early game lead. Would be quite nice, of course. If you want to win a game, an early lead is always good. You should never say no to somebody offering you an early lead. So you should never say no to you potentially gaining an early lead. As long as the odds are somewhat in your favor. So again, the 3 gateways here this time around. Guys, very important difference. Try to spot the difference that we saw on Giganotha here. I mean, I'm going to zoom in. No bunker. No bunker anywhere. Just 3 Marines standing at the forefront, and they are going to be fighting, well, against 1 Adept, a Stalker, and pretty soon 3 other units? Yeah, 3 other units here. Oh, no, wait, another Adept as well. So, it's like 6 units coming in. Okay, there's the bunker. May not be in time. Let's see. Parting. Actually, that bunker's just in the nick of time, isn't it? It is, and the warping point pretty far away as well, so those extra 3 units take a little while. Okay. Damn. Very smooth timing there. Now should be able to just kind of secure this location here with the amount of Marines that he has and that bunker. Even has a Cyclone here. Very solid stuff. Attempt to just get into the mineral line here and get some damage done. Stalkers going for the bunker. Trying to force out the SCVs to repair and then shoot at some of those SCVs, of course, as well. Oh, some adepts went into the main base, it looks like. And they are dead. Alright. So, actually, that went a lot better for BYUN than it did on Jagannath. Jagannath. Joogie Woogie. What was it called again? Jongo, Congo, Bongo Fever? What was it? What's the fun map name? I think Jumbo was in there as well somewhere. A little bit of a too eager push out there from BYUN, losing a lot of his Marines here. As he just thought, you know, let's just push on in here. 2 Cyclones. Might be able to kind of equalize this out though. There we go, getting 2 of those Stalkers. Quite nice. Might be able to get some more lock-ons here. 2 more lock-ons. One of the Cyclones goes down and the other one doesn't quite have the vision. Let's see how that ends up on the trading menus. And that is, once again, going in favor for BYUN. He is an absolute miracle worker when it comes to efficiency. I am telling you, it's like he's got like 3 extra senses when it comes to trying to figure out whether or not he should engage something and if it will or will not be efficient. It's like he's just got 12 calculators on the inside of his head. Stimpack Combat Shield's gonna finish up here, and I would imagine that around that time, maybe with a couple of siege tanks as well. Actually, no, we're gone into Widow Mines? Huh, alright. Yeah, maybe with some Widow Mines and those medevacs, we'll be seeing the move outs here. Well, just the medevacs, seeing as there's still no production on that factory. Fair enough, fair enough. Another lock on here. No blink available just quite yet, so that might be another Stalker gone down. No, in the nick of time that the blink upgrade does come in. We'll be able to save the Stalkers. Couple of scouts here for BYUN, trying to figure out what is close by that is causing all this aggression to come forwards. Losing another Cyclone here. Was it a good effort to try and take out that pylon there? I don't know. I'm trying to think here. I mean, the Cyclones overall, really great way to intercept War Prisms and stuff as well, right? We've already seen Parting try to be quite mischievous with those War Prisms and a couple of sentries blocking Parting, BYUN's way into his own main base. Ooh, good scan. Remember that was the observer place in the first time they played Romanticide today, and finds him there exactly on the same spot again. Now comes on in. We'll be able to take out the probe, trying to make a 4th base, and finally gets rid of the warping location available for Parting there on the right side of the map. Multi-pronged harassment's going to be the way for BYUN here. Going to force Parting a very awkward way to divvy up his forces, which is really not what he wants to do. He wants to try and stay as one big ball. As long as the Terrans stay one big ball, it's easier to get AoE splash damage onto them as well with the Colossi. That was too eager, BYUN. That was way too eager. I'm saying enormous mass of Stalkers right there, ready to take on that Bio Force. BYUN has to get back home. Worker count's kind of equal here. Army supply also equal though, so I like the fact that BYUN is spreading out. Be easier for the Terran to do, I would say. Although still quite scary with all those Blink Stalkers around, of course. One misstep with your medevacs, and that could be the end of the game right then and there. Medevac with 2 Widow Mines going into the natural base. Widow Mines. Oh, good connection. 7 of them. Probes not being pulled. I'm losing a couple of his marauders here, though. So he's trying to evacuate the area. What do we have at home as a defensive front? We have no siege tanks. We have no liberators, no Vikings, no Widow Mines, nothing. Was this an overextension from BYUN? That's going to cost him right now. Still 2 Colossi. It's mostly just Stalkers. I think BYUN should be okay here with a good split. He should be more than able to deal with this attack. Especially with Parting trying to get up onto the ramp and a couple of buildings quickly being thrown down here by BYUN. Very smart play as well. Can soak up a lot of damage. And make the fight very, very awkward to do for Parting. He can't just A-move up here. Because then most of his Stalkers are just going to shoot something else, right? And then if you have half your Stalkers shooting a supply depot and half of them shooting the command center, the other half is not going to do much. It's not going to do as much damage anymore. Equal army is good for Protoss. He's actually ahead right now. That's definitely true. But, I mean, the work account here in favor for BYUN. Which is really good for the Terran player. And, well... I just don't think that Parting can break this. I don't think that Parting will be able to just push into this. But he might be able to deny a 4th base for quite a long time here. 4th base trying to head on out of there. We do have Ghosts in the mix now. That is a ginormous difference. No High Templar or anything of the sort just quite yet. No Disruptors here for this army of Parting either. So with Vikings and Ghosts available, the rest of the Bioforce combined with that may be enough to just force Parting backwards here. There we go, good volleys. There is 1 Colossus that falls, another one. There's 2. There might be a 3rd. There is a 3rd. Oh, that's a big strike there. Parting will strike back though, immediately comes in with a big War Prism harassment plan. That is why the War Prism wasn't with the main attack and incapable of helping out those Colossus. Is this now going to be the unraveling of Parting? Could be the case. Those were very expensive units, just targeted down quite quickly. Oh, Disruptors, one of them gets a good shot. And that is enough for now. BYUN trying to bring in more forces here. The Vikings coming from above. A bit of a peculiar way to make that fight go in here. Now, with most of the Vikings dead, you may want to consider just rebuilding those Colossi as quickly as possible again. Oh, there we go. Rest of the forces of BYUN. Yeah, BYUN in a really good position now. Just needs to make sure not to die to Disruptors. That is the name of the game. Okay, that's a big connection. The other one, ooh, just barely doesn't make it. Whiffs the 4th one and does get the 4th base. BYUN now on the back foot. 1 base less in his possession. It was a good play from Parting. Using Disruptor shots to try and keep the Terran army away as he's just dealing with that command center there. It's not quite yet a planetary fortress. BYUN trying to make a plan happen here with 3 medevacs. Quickly has to rethink his actions, seeing how the Stalkers are still present at his front door. Fifth base for Parting. This is looking good for him now. Very, very back and forth this game. Very back and forth. Both these players just finding possibilities and making it work. Look at that. He's even going for a 6 base, actually. Is he? Is he? He's going 6 base right now? I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, this is more than just a single spotted pylon. This is like... It should be just infrastructure prepping for having a base there. at this point. Wants to go the long run here versus BYUN. I mean, even though Parting, he managed to get himself in a pretty good spot, cleaning up with the fourth base there with BYUN. He knows this is not it, right? He knows there's more to come. There's more to play for still. Oh my god, Disruptor from the back! Where the hell did that come from? Out of nowhere. Gets a big connection. Where is the rest of the army of BYUN? He was trying to do a split aggression going from multiple angles, and now more Disruptor shots. Getting good connections. Parting comes in with a final decisive blow, it seems. SCVs have to be pulled. But that is going to be many of them dying pretty much instantly to the Archon. That is still shooting very much a lot of damage onto those little tiny worker bees. And, well, guys, I think we are going off into game number 9. Alright, anyway, guys, we have caught ourselves a blue Protoss. It's game number 9. In the bottom left side, we have Mr. Parting himself. All the cute little sugar bears. Give it up for him right now. He needs your help. He's coming across with a probe quite early on. It looks like he wants to finish this off with a quick game, perhaps. Top right side. Will he be able to catch wind of what's happening here? The red Terran player from Shopify Rebellion. It's BYUN. Pylon. That much we know. It may just be another gateway. So far, these proxy gateways have been working out rather well for Parting. Putting one even closer to his opponent. Who knows, may even pay off more so. Now, there is a difference here. In the previous game on the Romento side, I think we saw him still go for the Nexus before the second gateway. If I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. At least that's what my memory's telling me. Previous time, though, when we were playing on Beckett, BYUN was being very careful to make sure that he's not being proxied. Overall. He's going to start moving out with this little marine here, but he's not going to be able to see what's hidden in his natural base, and that is a big problem indeed. Oh, no. Goes the wrong way again. Wrong way again. And now there's a Stalker. Oh, boy. The Marine's outside, and there's a Stalker in between him and... Okay, he manages to hide the Marine. That's good. But there's a Zealot coming in this side. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. There's the Zealot. BYUN is in a lot of trouble. BYUN's in a lot of trouble. This may not be an alright situation for him. Needs to spend some SEVs in order to get his act back up here. There's the Widowmine. The Widowmine does manage to get into the ground. That is good. And does get shield damage as well onto the Stalkers. That is massive. He might be able to get a good surround now with those SCVs and actually finish them off a lot quicker than he would normally. Alright, let's see. Does keep some more damage going onto those Stalkers, so they will stay low HP. The reactor is being rebuilt, so the Stalkers now stuck on the inside of this base. Burrowing the Widowmine. The Widowmine needs to be careful not to AoE splash damage his own SCVs, of course. SCVs do manage to get rid of all the 3 Stalkers in the main base. 19 workers remaining here for BYUN. And there goes the Widowmine taking out one of those Stalkers so far. BYUN starting to somewhat stabilize. Parting realizing and entering into a new phase of the game, getting himself a Nexus and a Robo facility. Let's see where we ended up on with all of this. 11 workers. We're not done just quite yet, actually, guys. Hold up. Single Marauder here trying to provide safety now, but this is a rough situation overall. The Stalker should be able to get that one. Widowmine don't quite go for it, so backing off. The Widowmine stays alive and will now secure the overall base entrance here. And this is a wild game overall. Already, right off the bat, Parting really showing us quite a bit of aggression here. He's not messing around. He wants this victory. He smells it. Taking out BYUN here in a best of 9, even though he went 3-1 in the beginning of it. Would be a pretty tall, nice thing for him. Alright, that's definitely one you would brag about. At least I would. Stalkers now have vision of the high ground with this War Prism here. Guys, I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I hate to be negative Nancy. But this is not looking great. It's never fun being depressed Daniel, but I mean, this is not looking all too good for our Terran player here. He's losing a lot of infrastructure, supply depots, tech labs, reactors, whatever. It's all been taken out. There is a bunker here on the high ground, but I mean, that War Prism can just float around right on top of the base here as well if he wants to. Marauders and Widowmines trying to bar the way. Oh, nice dodge on the Widowmine fire there. Now, of course, available with that War Prism. We'll be able to deal with those a lot easier. BYUN has that second base, but doesn't have much more. Widowmine gets taken out. SCVs once again off the line, trying to guard this place. But it's not looking all too great. The Stalkers are just too plentiful. The War Prism Micro is just too good. The Stalkers get the heck out of there once again. 3 more SCVs go down. BYUN, I mean, 30 works with 37. If he were to stabilize now somehow, some way, maybe. But, oh, he loses the siege tank. The biggest contributor to maybe somehow holding this, and it doesn't happen now because of that. GG is cold. We have ourselves game number 9 being won by Parting.